So the question that we asked before we go to our panelists, will Tamil Nadu see a three-way fight? Will Vijay be a superstar in politics and Thalapathy a spoiler or actually a contender? Till now, we don't quite know. He's untested in politics. If you go by sheer crowd, you'd be awestruck. But will the crowds materialize in votes for DVK? That's the big question. Let's cut across right now to Suman C. Raman, political analyst, Shekhar Iyer, senior journalist. Suman C. Raman, if one goes by sheer crowd, you could be in a bit of awe when you see these visuals on your television screen. But what was important, I would reckon, Mr. Raman, is what Vijay actually said. Made it very clear with his attack on the BJP, Prime Minister Modi called them their ideological enemies. There was a nuance where DMK was concerned, stating that it's their political enemies. Softer on the DMK, harder on the BJP, you'd agree?
I think this was a very cinematic kind of a performance. The crowds were going to be there. I mean, he's a big star, so there's no doubt that there would be crowds. But this was extremely cinematic, and the style of dialogue delivery and all that, it seemed to be right out of one of his own movies. My point is, he has said nothing new. It was a speech which was high on rhetoric, very low on substance. Nothing that we had not already heard. We knew that he had already identified. A year ago, he said BJP is my ideological enemy, DMK is my political enemy. He reiterated that using various other examples and various other things. But my point really is, Preeti, he said that he wants to abolish NEET. He said that Kachativu must be retrieved. Now, all of these are part of the DMK's election manifesto. So, how are you differentiating them yourself from the party that you claim is ruining Tamil Nadu and you want to replace? So, I'm not very clear, what he is actually standing for, except that he now has projected himself as a vote katwa or a vote splitter. So, he is going to be splitting the anti-DMK vote to help the DMK potentially to win the election. I think that's basically how his role is sort of envisaged. And I would possibly go as far to say that, if he continues on this course, then he's very likely a Trojan horse of the DMK. So there's no doubt about it, because the way everybody knows that he's not going to be able to win the election, but he will be able to cut a sizable proportion of vote and take more votes away from the AIADMK BJP alliance, because he says, anti-DMK, you must vote for me because the DMK is my enemy. So whose vote is he taking? He's having MGR, a gigantic cutout on the stage.
But Mr. Sumant, to say we all know that he's going to come down to nothing, political prophecies have come down to bite people. Sometimes.
No, I'm not saying he'll come down to nothing. I'm saying that he will take a sizable share of the vote.
Okay.
Maybe
so
8%,
you're saying it's going to be.
But he's not going to win. He's not going to win. No way.
All right. Mr. Iyer, would you want to weigh in on that? Because just by the virtue of optics, by the virtue of oratory, he's hit it out of the park today.
Well, this was his second such conference, because last year he had it in Veerapandi. And the only difference this time in the points that he was making is, this time he was directly addressing the cadre of AIADMK. Last time he did not attack AIADMK leadership as much as he did today. Basically, he was saying, look, look at the fate of the ADMK today, at whose hand it is. This party was started by MGR. Then it was later led by Jayalalitha. So he wants to appropriate the legacies of MGR, right from Annadurai, from Periyar rather, from Periyar, Annadurai. Annadurai was the founder of the DMK. Then he comes to say, MGR. Now, by invoking the legacy of MGR, already the last conference we saw, he brought Kamraj also there. Kamraj was a tall leader of the Congress party in Tamil Nadu. And, what he wants to say is this is going to be a big change that is going to come in Tamil Nadu. He referred to 1967 when Congress lost the election. Then after that, he referred to 1977 when MGR came to power, dethroning Karunanidhi. So the point he is making is, yes, this suspicion that Dr. Sumant mentioned today, yes, there is a suspicion that he is acting as a vote cutter, which would eventually benefit DMK.
Because that language, There was a language shift, Sumansi Raman, and I'll go back to Shekhar Iyer on this. Because of what
Yeah.
he said earlier, I would reckon the biggest shift was a direct attack on AIADMK, and then practically, Mr. Iyer is right, addressing the cadre of AIADMK.
Yes, and two things. He says 2026 is a battle between TVK and DMK. So what does that actually mean?
Right.
It means that there's only one opponent against the DMK, and that's me. So that's basically what he's trying to pitch, where he's again making a pitch for the anti-DMK
Right.
vote. Second, and I think the ADMK has also come out with a kind of attack back or counter attack now. The rather small fact that MGR did not start a party and immediately become chief minister. He had been in the DMK for a good almost 1.5 decades, and subsequently, after he formed his party, also it took him a good 4 years of hard work and effort before he was able to come in. So it is almost 20 years in politics before he became the chief minister. He didn't start a party on Monday and become chief minister on Wednesday, which is what Vijay is effectively trying to do by starting a party 2.5 years before an election and saying that he wants to come
Right.
to power. And likewise, Jayalalitha was in politics for a good 10 to more than a decade. She was a Rajya Sabha MP. She was a propaganda secretary of the party for many years before she actually became a chief minister. So this whole approach of saying that I will start a party, I've got a big fan base, and I will straight away become chief minister, I don't know how
Right.
Tamil Nadu is going to respond to that.
All right, Shekhar Iyer, last word in with what Sumansi Raman said, Trojan horse or what is commonality where politics is concerned, the team B here of the DMK.
Well, Preeti, he made one more thing. I mean, he didn't, he was alluding, I would say, to major partners of the DMK, I think particularly the Congress, because
Right.
he attacked the DMK on dynastic politics, but at the same time did not say anything about the dynastic politics of Congress. On the other hand, he said, look, anybody else who want to join this alliance are welcome. That is obviously he is looking at one AIADMK's cadres to come to him, and other is some of the partners
You're insinuating, Mr. Iyer,
hoping
that
that
he's
they will
possibly
switch on.
holding out an
Okay.
olive branch for the Congress where an alliance is concerned. Is that what you're saying?
No, he was basically saying, look, I mean, he
Okay.
did not attack Congress.
He
See,
has
he
been calling.
did not say,
Sorry,
he was talking about dynastic politics, only limited
Okay,
to
fair point. Yeah, fair
DMK.
point.
one sentence, Preeti.
Come in, sir. Make your point.
He has been asking for parties to join the alliance for the last 6 months. Not a single party has signed up. So let's be very clear. It's not that his only condition was they should accept
He's the CM. Yeah.
him as a CM face and his party as the leader of the alliance. Not one party has signed up. Big, small, minuscule, nobody has signed up. So I think that
Did you
also
see
tells
today
the
as
story.
once again an overture to the Congress?
I don't think so. Congress is wedded to the DMK. There's no
You don't
way.
think so?
They are like
Mr.
in
Iyer?
Tamil Nadu, Preeti, the joke is they are a branch office of the DMK.
Yeah.
If you need to meet a congressman, you go to the DMK headquarters. You don't go to the Congress headquarters.
Preeti,
Right, Mr. Iyer.
I think the last word has not been sent up even on Vijay's alliance plans. I mean, things are fluid to a great extent. Yes, the parties would not easily leave the DMK-led alliance, but in the months to come, because there are 8 months left for the elections, if Vijay continues to get the kind of crowds that he's getting, and there are rallies after in every district in every major towns,
Right.
there could be rethinking among the alliance partners of the DMK too.
Okay, all right. I'm going to leave it at that. Dr. Sumansi Raman is shaking his head. I appreciate both you gentlemen for joining us. I'm sure we're going to have you back on the show sooner than later.